Hey everybody. We are in the building. I am happy to be here. I know I'm supposed to have an intro ready, but we got it coming. We got an intro coming. We got an intro for the watch channel coming. I've been getting some stills from just my flights back and forth. I travel so much it's ridiculous. Um Today we have a watch review. We are reviewing my Omega SeaMaster Cosmic. It's actually my first Omega watch, to be honest with you. So we will be reviewing this beautiful timepiece today. First thing first, before we get into it, the customer wristwatch check. It was started by Archie Luxury, even though I may not agree with everything that Watchy does. That Archie does. He does have a very entertaining channel, and if you really want to laugh, a good laugh, I suggest you go to the channel. Um, I will try to reach out to him to have him on the New Right Party channel that I have, which is semi-successful, I'll say. To talk about what's going on politically in Austria and what's going on with him, um, and just the lack of free speech there. I think is important for people on my political channel to actually hear it from someone from another country that's dealing with censorship and and what it's like to be put in prison just for saying something that the people who control the government don't want you to say. So I'll be trying to reach out to him and getting him on my channel to talk about that. Uh, will I let you guys get an up close look at my watch? Sure, yes, I will. Okay, let me see. Cam 2. This is what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my vintage Rolex Tudor. Well, I guess when we do a review on the watch, we'll uh we'll let you guys get a better look at it. But for now, let me see. Camera 2. Would you stop camera 2? Oh, brother, I hate when camera 2 is such a piece of crap. There you go, camera 2. So that's what I'm wearing today. My vintage Rolex Tudor. Of course, you can see the Rolex crown on the crown. Um, Original oyster casing by Rolex. Um, it's what I'm wearing today. It's what we're doing on today's show. It's what we're doing on this episode. And then we'll get into the watch review. I will go into my bag of white gloves. Why do I wear white gloves when the white gloves actually, it helps the camera too to focus in. That's what I find on my part. Bag of white gloves. So that's the reason why I wear them. That and the shit looks cool. All right, it looks cool. It looks cool to have your timepieces and have the white gloves. It's okay to wear white gloves. So I'm going to be wearing some white gloves today with this review. Let's go back into camera 2. All right, so this SeaMaster Cosmic is from the 60s, from the mid 60s, and its caliber is a 613. And this was my first. Let's see if we can get old camera 2 to not be a total douchebag. This is my first Omega wristwatch here. Come on, camera 2. Hey, this is supposed to be an auto focus. There you go. This is my first Omega. It's of course it's vintage. So like I said, it's from the mid '60s, and it has the quick date dial, so you can just go in. Let me see. Then you just pull this out and it changes the date. And you pull it out again, watch. See? Quick date, you can just quick. It's a manual, so you would have to wind it. The thing about this watch that I have to look out for, the thing about this watch that I have to look out for is what I just did, which is changing the date faster than I wanted to. That's what I have to look out for this watch, because of that that quick date. I find myself changing the date sometimes more than I want to. This is a beautiful manual movement. I can't complain about it at all, period. I wouldn't complain about it at all, period, to be honest with you. Let's see, we had 1240. Yeah, I wouldn't complain about it at all, period. I don't mind manually changing my watch. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I have no issues with winding my watches. It has a pretty good reserve on it, so I've wound it up and I've seen it running for 2 days. And if you only have one watch, then it's okay. You know, it's okay to, you know, wind it up and then, you know, it's running and then they'll run for 2 days. So I have it on olive NATO strap. I mean, the watch is in beautiful condition. Absolutely beautiful condition. There's a patina on the dial. There's a patina on the hands, the second hand, the hour hand, the minute hand. But it's still in beautiful, beautiful, beautiful condition. Nothing to be, you know, upset about. It came with this strap. I really love this strap. The leather on canvas on this strap. It gave the watch a ton of personality. We have it on a NATO strap now because it's the summertime. You know, it's the summertime whenever I wear olive green or fatigues, and I don't want to wear my Orient. This is a beautiful go-to watch. I think that earth colors just look amazing on this watch. It looks amazing, absolutely amazing on this watch. Let's take it off the NATO so we can get just a look at the back of it so you can see the condition of it. Of course, you have to go into the watch from the front of the case. Now, the watch says that it's waterproof. Let's see. The watch says that it's waterproof. It's a SeaMaster. And it has the case number 136016-tool 105. So it's telling you need a 105 tool in order to actually open this up from the front. But the back has, you know, it has some life to it. You see the little scrapes on it, just the little markings on it. Nothing worth losing sleep about. I won't polish my watches to try to remove any blemishes from them. I believe that the blemishes give these watches character. This is definitely one of my favorites in my collection. We do have some new pieces that have arrived inside of the collection. And I have another quartz watch. I know people frown on quartz watches, but you can get a Rolex that's a quartz. You can get an Audemars Piguet that's a quartz. So I'm not against quartz watches. I have a new Orient that I'll be doing a review on. That's a quartz watch, and it's a chrono. So it's my first chrono, even though it's a quartz. But my first vintage automatic was Orient. So I wanted my first chronograph to be an Orient as well, just to keep tradition. It's another vintage. It is a vintage Orient as well. It's not a new Orient model. Um, but back to this Omega right here. This is definitely a very, very, very beautiful watch. In great condition. Has the Omega marking on the crown. I mean, it's in great condition. In absolutely amazing condition. And it functions, no issues whatsoever. This was my first Seamasters. You know, it's important to have a Seamaster in your collection if you're gonna collect. If you're going to collect, you have to have. You don't have to do anything, but if you're going to consider yourself a serious collector, and I'm not just saying like, you know, all you do is collect Rolexes, so you know that's all you have, because there are serious collectors who only collect Rolex. They don't collect anything else. But if you plan on being a collector of timepieces, if you want to have the enjoyment of having different timepieces in your collection, then an Omega would be a must-have. That's one, and a Seamaster would also be a must-have. That's two. People you see that do have very serious collections, and they have valuable watches within their collection, you'll always see that they have a Seamaster. My next Seamaster that I will be going for will be a Speedmaster. Hopefully an Apollo, or I think it's a 1505 or 1503 model or 1501. It looks like the Apollo. I wouldn't mind getting a vintage piece that looks like the Apollo Speedmaster, and then working my way up to an Apollo Speedmaster. I have no issue with that. I am on the fence about buying a Patek Philippe. The seller seems like a good seller. I haven't seen anything negative about the person. So I guess we'll make this a watch review and a watch question. Would you guys purchase a watch? And some of you may consider this a Franken watch. I guess it is. It's been recased. The whole inside of the watch is Patek. The crown is Patek. The clasp is Patek. But the casing on the watch is not a Patek. So I have two options. I tried to haggle the guy down. I purchased the watch, and then I keep it. And of course, you don't sell it. Excuse me. It would be an original of sorts, I guess, because it does have a different case to it. Or I buy the watch and then I actually go to there's a watch dealer in Manhattan, and he has tons of parts. I mean, tons and tons and tons of parts. And I'm quite certain that he would have a Patek Philippe case that I would be able to purchase that would fit this watch in particular. I mean, just the movement, it would be able to fit the movement of that watch, and I could actually take the movement out of this casing and put it in an actual Patek Philippe casing. So either that or I just don't do it at all. I'm leaning towards not doing it because I did see some other Patek Philippe's at that price point. So it's a good chance that I might not do it. I guess I answered my own question. I won't be doing it. I don't want any Franken watches. And I definitely don't want the hassle of having to buy another casing to have a watch recased again. The watch does look beautiful though, man. I have to give the seller credit. And it's not one of those Franken watches where I seen some guy selling a Rolex Explorer 1, but the inside was a Tosset movement inside the watch. So it wasn't even a Rolex movement inside of the watch. He just had a whole different movement in Rolex casing. So it's not like that. This is actual all Patek Philippe. I don't want to, kick the back out of the seller because the casing isn't Patek Philippe. But it was just something I inquired about. So Just leave something in the comments. Tell me what you think about that. What would you do? Would you buy it and then have it recased in a Patek casing, even though the movement and everything is Patek Philippe? Or would you just not bother at all? Or would you buy it and keep the watch still, knowing that the movement and everything is Patek, just not the case? Let me know what you think. And tell me what you think about my Omega SeaMaster. Thank you for tuning in, people. Talk to you later.